It's Friday, and CTV is here to cover everything you need to know on the campus of Hastings College. From student association to sports, art, and weekend events, we have quite the show for you today, so let's get started. On Monday, March 25th, Student Association Senate met in the Wilson Auditorium for their third meeting of the spring semester. After approving $6,725 in requests last time around, Senate was left with just $5,740 for the rest of the semester, meaning approval for big requests this time might be tougher to come by. 4 student groups requested a total of $3,215. Groups requesting included College Acquaintance Rape Educators, or CARE, who requested $1,475 from the SA Fund. These funds were to be used for the student group to host Sexual Assault Awareness Week activities on campus, as well as to give out prizes during the events. Of the total amount, $1,000 was requested to help the group buy t-shirts for all of campus. This $1,000 portion was cut while the rest of the $475 was approved. Senate suggested CARE to look into more cost-effective options for t-shirts and to come back to the next meeting in order to possibly request again. Banquet requested $1,115. These funds would be used to get mocktail supplies, glasses, and bartenders, as well as decorations for Mayfay with this year's theme of The Great Gatsby. $200 was cut from the request and $915 was approved. Overall, the Senate approved $2,015 of the requested $5,740, leaving a total of $3,725 in the SA unallocated fund for the remainder of the semester. It will be a quick turnaround for SA Senate as their next meeting will be held this upcoming Monday, April 8th in the Wilson Auditorium. Last month, the state of Nebraska had one of its worst disasters in its history, with floodwaters killing 3 people, displacing hundreds, and costing the state around $1.3 billion in damages. 65 counties declared a state of emergency, including Adams County, and while the city of Hastings was not directly impacted by the flooding, many students on campus were. Sky Hillman, a first-year student out of Grand Island, Nebraska, was one of those students affected.
We live right next to the river, and so we have like a bunch of horses on our property, and we board horses overnight for people. And so the river came up into our back pens and just kind of like flooded that whole area, and so we had to evacuate the 2 back pens, or like the 2 back pens in one area and then the 4 in the other. And so we had to find a bunch of room for a bunch of different horses, and a bunch of trees fell down on fences, and so we had to replace the paneling.
Gary Freeman, executive director of Hastings College Foundation, said 553 students live in areas affected by the floodwaters. This makes up just over 60% of the student body. In response, members of the Hastings College Foundation created a scholarship for those affected, with a meeting accumulating on April 1st to finalize the scholarship fund.
So I think what Hastings College we were trying to do is we were trying to respond to the emergency that has really hit our state really hard. So in Hastings proper, we were really lucky in there, but we know for students and some of their families, they are going to be facing some serious challenges, and so we wanted to respond to that. So we actually created a scholarship specifically for these students, and the meeting this morning was just to finalize those details about how students would apply for the scholarship.
As of Wednesday, the fund has raised $30,000 for the scholarships. The scholarship amount for each student affected will vary based on the student's individual needs and individual circumstances. All students have to do is contact financial aid to get the process started. If you or anyone you know would like to donate to the Emergency Scholarship Fund, visit the link below. The link can also be found in the description of this broadcast. Over the past week, the nominees for the next year's Student Association President and Vice President were announced. Kaylin Day for SA President and Maggie Rogers for SA Vice President are running unopposed for next year's positions, cleverly making their slogan the only option. Day and Rogers have 4 primary platforms that they bring to the table: improve grocery bag bingo, including moving it to a new location, creating an SA website with information on all events and how to contact members of the SA cabinet, improving lighting around campus, and implementing a reward system for students to attend on-campus events, trying to encourage student participation around campus. The candidates will be presenting their presidential platform next week on Tuesday, April 9th at 7 o'clock in HSU Room C. The presentation will be streamed live on the Hastings College Facebook page. On Monday, the Hastings College Music Department hosted their annual jazz festival, bringing in high school jazz bands from around the state during the day and finishing the day off with a concert in Lynn Farrell Arena, which featured local high schoolers, middle schoolers, and the Hastings College Jazz Band. This wasn't any regular jazz concert, though, as two of the original Blues Brothers band members, Tom "Bones" Malone and Blue Lou Marini, were brought in with 4 other guest musicians to play alongside the local students.
And then the concert last night was it was sweet.
It was quite the sight to see. Tom "Bones" Malone and Blue Lou Marini, two of the original Blues Brothers band members, in front of a packed house at Lynn Farrell Arena, playing alongside fellow Hastings jazz bands from middle school up to the college level.
I thought it was quite successful last night. But this whole thing is not really about me. It's really about the kids having a good educational experience. And I think they had a good time last night. So I felt like we did what we came here to do.
The concert last night I thought was awesome. I judge a concert by the reaction of the audience. And the audience was just amazingly energized, and that energizes the musicians on stage. And
set up by Hastings Public Schools music coordinator Rick Maddox, the day wasn't just about the concert at the end, but about the kids who performed and who received lessons from a variety of famous jazz musicians, including the two Blues Brothers.
We've all shared the same experience. So when we were kids, we had the opportunity at one point in our lives, in our young lives, to experience a clinic and hang out with professional musicians and get a glimpse of what it's really like and what it sounds like for somebody to really play. And for all of us, it was inspirational. And so that's what our mission is when we come out to do things like this, you know.
I wanted our students and all those students that attended the Jazz Festival, it was about them, right? I wanted them to be able to relish that moment and spend that time with those folks, and kind of like they're doing this morning, right?
For Maddox, this is something he has planned on doing for a very long time.
So this idea started when I was in college here at Hastings College, and my roommate and I, Darren Workman, we loved the Blues Brothers. We'd watch the movie 200 times a year, probably. You know, we just we're crazy about it, and I knew someday I wanted to meet some of the Blues Brothers and do something. So that was kind of where my concept came.
With a newfound love for jazz, this is Cameron Bradley reporting.
If you would like to watch the concert from Monday, the entire live stream can be found on the Hastings College Music Facebook page. The link is posted in the description. This month in the Jackson Dinsdale Arts Center, Tom Kreager, Professor of Visual Arts, is presenting Thingify, his sabbatical exhibition. This show comes as a conclusion to his artistic research during his time on sabbatical leave. The exhibition overall presents a wide variety of technique and application within glassblowing, along with graphic elements of painting. Subsets of the show can be made based upon these applications that ultimately play on the form and visual surface of the glass vessels and sculptures. Subsets connect by motifs and stencil use, copper inclusions, color and form that give into themes that can be taken from the show. While the themes may contrast in application and visual appeal, they overarchingly connect to the title of the exhibition, to convert an idea into a tangible thing. After being diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in November, Kreager fought through the chemotherapy while also working on his show, forcing him to change his ideas and adapt to the situation.
When I normally do an exhibition, I'll work, 2 weeks and just work every minute I can and get a series of pieces with a real similar theme. With this, it's gone on for so many months that things start to evolve. So that's why I've got, started off with the stencils, I've got pieces with the copper inclusions, I'm doing paintings. As things evolve, I just got to keep changing my ideas because I get bored otherwise.
Even with all that Kreager was going through at the time, he never gave up on his work, and through the help of others, Kreager was ready to showcase his work this month.
This work wouldn't have happened without the support of friends and family. And mainly when I'm saying friends, I'm saying students at this point. They really, came in at times when I was healthy enough to work, and they helped, and they've, like I never ground any of the pieces. Jake Arnett ground the pieces for me. Everyone helped in different areas. Like I designed the tables, and Jeremy Hansen put them together for me. So it's been kind of a labor of love, and it's really wonderful. I mean, truly, students are the best.
The exhibition is showcased in the main gallery of the JDAC and will be open until April 25th, with a reception being held tonight at 6 p.m. in the main gallery, where Kreager will talk about his work and processes. There will also be a benefit taking place tomorrow throughout the day from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. in the glass studio of the JDAC, where alumni will be blowing glass and auctioning off the pieces, with all funds raised that day going to support Kreager and his medical needs. If you would like to take action and donate to help Kreager, you can visit his GoFundMe page in the link below and in the description. Within the span of a week, Hastings College Athletics has lost two of its most successful current coaches, with women's soccer head coach Chris Clements resigning on Monday, March 25th, to take the head coaching job for the women's soccer team at NCAA Division II Minot State, and head volleyball coach Matt Buttermore stepping down a week later on April 1st to take the head volleyball job at NCAA Division I University of Nebraska, Omaha. With both coaches stepping down in the spring, the hunt is now on for two new coaches to lead the women's soccer and volleyball teams next fall. Speaking of sports, let's get to our weekend events. It is a busy one. Kicking off the weekend, men's and women's tennis take on Kansas Wesleyan University today at 1 o'clock inside the Puff, while softball has their first of two doubleheaders this weekend, starting tonight at 5 o'clock as the Dordt College Defenders come into town to take on the Broncos at the Smith Softball Complex. Also tonight, like we said earlier in the show, is the Tom Kreager Sabbatical Exhibition reception from 6 to 8 in the JDAC main gallery, followed by the Tom Kreager Blowout Benefit tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. in the JDAC Glass Blowing Studio. Softball finishes up their weekend doubleheaders with games against Northwestern College tomorrow, starting at 1 o'clock. Those games will also be held at the Smith Softball Complex. Evening events are kicked off by the second annual Alliance Drag Show from 7 to 9 in the Perkins Auditorium, followed by the second annual Operation Glow in the Kiewit Gymnasium from 9 to 11. Hope to see you all there. Now it's time to check out your weekend forecasts. It's going to be a beautiful weekend with temperatures finally getting out of the 40s and 50s and up to the near 70s, with a 71-degree high today, with some mixed clouds followed by a possible thunderstorm this evening and a low of 54 degrees tonight. The clouds and chances for thunderstorms continue tomorrow afternoon with a high of 69 degrees, a chance for some scattered rain tomorrow night, and temperatures dropping off to 50 degrees. Sunday will be most of the same with a high of 68 degrees, but the chances of rain will be slighter. Temperatures will drop to 46 degrees on Sunday night. Now that's all we have for you here from Studio A in the Gray Center. Don't forget to follow the Collegian on all of your social media platforms, and make sure you're on the lookout for future CTV and CTV Sports episodes to come. Have a great weekend, Broncos.